Welcome. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop and allow yourself to settle in comfortably. Tonight, we're going to explore the magnificent world of tigers together. At a gentle pace, with no rush, nowhere to be, nothing to do but rest and learn and drift. If these gentle journeys bring you peace, consider leaving a kind word, sharing this moment with another, or joining our growing flock of quiet dreamers. Comment your favorite animal and I might include it in the next video. Let's begin our journey. Tigers are the largest wild cats in the world. Imagine that for a moment. The largest among all the wild cats that roam our planet. These magnificent creatures embody power and grace, moving through their habitats with a presence that is unmatched. When you picture a tiger, you might see that distinctive coat, those powerful shoulders, that commanding gaze, and you would be seeing the largest of all wild felines, a creature of remarkable size and strength, perfectly designed by nature over millions of years. As we continue, let's learn what scientists call these magnificent animals. Their scientific name is Panthera tigris. Panthera tigris. Let those syllables roll gently through your mind. Panthera, from the Latin tigris, a name that has echoed through human language for thousands of years. This scientific classification places them in the genus Panthera, alongside lions, leopards, and jaguars. But the tiger stands alone. Unique, powerful, Panthera tigris. You're doing wonderfully, simply listening, allowing these facts to wash over you like gentle waves. There's no need to remember everything. Just let the information flow as you sink deeper into comfort, deeper into relaxation. Now, let's consider what tigers eat. Tigers are carnivores, pure carnivores, meat eaters, predators designed by evolution to hunt and consume other animals. Their entire being, from their sharp retractable claws to their powerful jaws, from their keen eyesight to their muscular build, everything speaks to their role as hunters. As carnivores, they maintain balance in their ecosystems, controlling populations of prey animals, part of nature's intricate web. These remarkable carnivores don't live in just one type of place. They live in a range of habitats, including forests, grasslands, swamps, and mangrove areas. Breathe in and imagine the diversity of these landscapes. Dense forests where dappled sunlight filters through the canopy. Wide grasslands where the wind moves through tall blades. Mysterious swamps where water and land intertwine. And mangrove areas where salt water and fresh water meet. Tigers have adapted to all of these environments, flexible, resilient, at home in forests both tropical and temperate, in wetlands, in grasslands. Such versatility, such adaptability. You're absorbing this knowledge so peacefully. Your mind is calm. Your body is heavy and relaxed, feel yourself sinking deeper into whatever supports you. Notice how easy it is to just listen, to just be. You're exactly where you need to be. Let's explore the weight of these magnificent animals. Adult tigers can weigh about 220 to 660 pounds. That's quite a range, isn't it? Picture that. Some tigers weighing as little as 220 pounds, still powerful, still commanding, while others reach an impressive 660 pounds. That's the weight of 3 or 4 adult humans concentrated into one muscular, elegant predator. Female tigers tend to be smaller, weighing toward the lower end of that range, while males grow larger, more massive, their size suited to defending territories and competing for mates. And what about their length? Tigers can be about 6 to 10 feet long. 6 to 10 feet from nose to the base of their tail. That's taller than most doorways if a tiger were to stand upright. Though, of course, they move on 4 powerful legs, and this measurement doesn't even include their tail, which can add another 3 feet to their total length. Imagine encountering such a creature, 10 feet of muscle and grace, moving through the forest, silent, purposeful, magnificent. Let your breathing slow, gentle breaths, in and out. You're learning so much, absorbing these facts effortlessly. Your mind is quiet and receptive. There's nothing you need to do. Just continue listening to the sound of this voice and the fascinating world of tigers. Now we must acknowledge something important about these beautiful animals. Tigers are endangered, and wild tiger numbers are still under pressure in many regions. This is a sobering reality, but we can hold it gently in our awareness. At the start of the 20th century, there may have been over 100,000 tigers in the wild. Today, that number is much smaller. Habitat loss, poaching, human-wildlife conflict, these pressures continue. Yet there is hope. Conservation efforts are making a difference in some areas, and awareness continues to grow. As you rest tonight, you can carry a quiet appreciation for these animals and for those working to protect them. Let's journey back in time now, way back. The earliest tiger fossils date back about 2 million years. 2 million years. Let that time span wash over you. 2 million years of tigers walking this earth, evolving, adapting, surviving ice ages and climate shifts, continental changes and ecological transformations. The ancestors of modern tigers, ancient and powerful, leaving their marks in stone, their bones preserved in the earth, telling us stories of deep time, of evolution's patient work, of survival and change across millennia. Your eyelids may be feeling heavy now, and that's perfectly natural, perfectly good. You're doing so well, just continuing to listen, to rest, each word guiding you deeper into tranquility, deeper into peace. Among living tigers today, there is beautiful diversity. Sumatran tigers are the smallest tiger subspecies. while Siberian tigers are the largest. Imagine the spectrum from the Sumatran tiger, living on the Indonesian island of Sumatra, navigating dense tropical forests, smaller in stature, perfectly adapted to their island home, to the Siberian tiger, also called the Amur tiger, living in the far eastern reaches of Russia, in forests where winter temperatures plummet, where their large size helps them survive the cold, helps them take down large prey, helps them thrive in one of the harshest climates any big cat calls home. Nature has shaped each subspecies perfectly suited to their environment. People often wonder how tigers compare to lions. Tigers can be bigger than lions, but size depends on the individual and subspecies. There's no simple answer, no absolute rule. Some tigers are indeed larger than any lion, particularly the great Siberian males. But an average tiger and an average lion might be quite similar in size. Each individual is unique, shaped by genetics, by food availability, by their specific environment. Both are magnificent, both are powerful, and comparing them is less important than appreciating each for what they are: apex predators, evolutionarily refined, masters of their domains. Feel the weight of your body sinking down, supported completely. You're safe, you're comfortable, and you're learning wonderful things about our world. Let that feel satisfying. Let yourself drift even deeper. We touched on this before, but it bears repeating for clarity. The Siberian tiger is the biggest tiger subspecies. These giants of the north, also known as Amur tigers, can weigh over 600 pounds in exceptional cases. Their thick fur, their powerful build, their large paws that act like snowshoes, all adaptations to life in snowy forests. They are the largest of all tigers, the heaviest of all wild cats, breathing in the cold air of eastern Russia, walking through snow-covered landscapes, solitary, powerful, surviving against the odds. And at the other end of that spectrum, the Sumatran tiger is the smallest tiger subspecies. These beautiful cats, found only on the Indonesian island of Sumatra, weigh considerably less than their Siberian cousins. Males might weigh around 220 to 310 pounds, females even less. But don't let their smaller size fool you. They are perfectly adapted to their environment, moving through dense jungle, navigating thick vegetation where their smaller size is actually an advantage. Efficient hunters, beautiful, critically endangered, and precious. You're absorbing all of this so naturally. Your mind is open and calm. Your body is deeply relaxed. Perhaps you're drifting in and out of full awareness, and that's exactly right. That's exactly what this time is for. Let's consider individual records now. The largest tiger ever recorded was an Amur tiger. Historical accounts and measurements speak of enormous individuals, with one famous Amur tiger shot in the 1950s reportedly weighing 932 pounds. Though modern scientists treat some historical measurements with caution, Even conservative modern records document male Amur tigers exceeding 600 pounds. These exceptional individuals, the giants among giants, remind us of what these animals can become under the right conditions, with enough food, enough space, enough time to grow and thrive. Now, here's a fascinating distinction. Tigers are the largest terrestrial mammals whose diet is entirely meat. Think about that for a moment. On land, among all the mammals that walk the earth, tigers are the largest that eat only meat. Bears are larger, but they're omnivores, eating plants and animals both. Elephants are much larger, but they're herbivores. Tigers hold this unique title, the largest land-dwelling mammal that is a pure carnivore, that survives entirely on the meat they hunt, perfectly adapted to that lifestyle, with every aspect of their biology dedicated to being predators. Your breathing is so calm now, so steady, like gentle waves on a peaceful shore. You're doing beautifully, simply being here, simply listening, letting these facts about tigers carry you gently towards sleep. Let's explore how tigers hide in plain sight. Tigers have orange coats because their prey sees them as blending into grass and leaves. That brilliant orange that seems so visible to our human eyes, so striking, so unmistakable, is actually camouflage. The secret lies in how their prey sees the world. To us, with our primate vision, our ability to see reds and oranges, a tiger stands out. But to the animals they hunt, the world looks different, and that orange blends beautifully with the golden grasses, the dappled forest light, the browns and greens of their habitat. Here's why that camouflage works so well. Deer and other hoofed prey are colorblind, which makes a tiger's camouflage even more effective. Most of the animals that tigers hunt, deer, wild boar, various antelope species, they don't see colors the way we do. They see in blues and greens primarily, and to their eyes, a tiger's orange coat appears as a neutral tone, blending with the background. Add to that the tiger's stripes, breaking up their outline, making it hard to distinguish where tiger ends and environment begins, and you have a predator that can approach remarkably close, invisible until the final rush. Let your jaw relax. Unclench if you need to. Soften your forehead, your eyes. You're so relaxed now, so peaceful, continuing this gentle journey, learning and releasing, learning and letting go. Those stripes we mentioned, they're quite remarkable. Some tigers have more than 100 stripes, and scientists can use those stripes to identify individual animals. Count them if you could, though you'd need a very patient tiger, and you might count over 100 on some individuals. These aren't random, they're unique, specific to each tiger. Researchers can photograph tigers in the wild, and by examining their stripe patterns, identify which individual they've seen. This helps with population studies, with tracking movements, with understanding tiger behavior, all without having to capture or disturb the animals. And here's the beautiful truth about those patterns. Each tiger has a unique stripe pattern, so no two tigers look exactly the same, like snowflakes, like fingerprints, like the precise arrangement of stars in the sky. Each tiger carries their own distinctive pattern. A tiger on the left side of a forest might have bold, thick stripes, while their neighbor has thinner, more numerous stripes. The pattern on the flanks differs from the pattern on the legs, and all of it together creates an identity, a visual signature, absolutely unique to that individual tiger. You're nearly there, so calm, so relaxed. Feel how heavy your limbs are, how quiet your mind has become. You're safe, you're learning, you're drifting. Let's appreciate this uniqueness once more. A tiger's stripes are unique to each individual, like fingerprints. No two humans share the same fingerprints, and no two tigers share the same stripes. This uniqueness extends even to the two sides of the same tiger. If you could unfold a tiger like a butterfly, the left side wouldn't perfectly mirror the right. The pattern is individual, distinctive, unrepeatable. In all the millions of tigers that have lived over 2 million years, each one carried their own pattern, their own signature, their own identity written in orange and black. And we'll complete this thought. Tigers use their unique stripe patterns to help researchers identify and track individual animals. In tiger reserves and protected areas, camera traps capture thousands of images. Researchers painstakingly examine these photos, looking at stripe patterns, matching them, building databases of individuals. They can track Broken Tail, the male who patrols the northern sector, or Maya, the female raising cubs near the river. Through stripes, they understand population numbers, breeding success, territory sizes, movement patterns. The tiger's stripes, which evolved for camouflage, now also serve as a tool for their protection and study. Breathe deeply, slowly. You've learned so much, absorbed so many fascinating facts about these magnificent animals. We've learned that tigers are the largest wild cats, magnificent carnivores living in diverse habitats from forests to swamps. We've explored their impressive size, ranging from 220 to 660 pounds. From 6 to 10 feet in length, we've acknowledged their endangered status and reached back through 2 million years of their history. We've met the smallest subspecies, the Sumatran tiger, and the largest, the Siberian or Amur tiger. We've understood that tigers are the largest land mammals that eat only meat, and discovered the secret of their camouflage, how their orange coats blend perfectly to the eyes of their colorblind prey. And we've marveled at their stripes, more than 100 on some individuals, each pattern unique, identifying each tiger as surely as fingerprints identify each human, helping researchers protect and study these magnificent animals. Rest now. With these images in your mind, Tigers moving through forests, through grasslands, through the mists of time, powerful, unique, and beautiful. Sleep well, drifting in that peaceful space between waking and sleeping, breathing softly, learning more about these remarkable creatures. Allow yourself to sink even deeper into comfort. There's no effort required, just listening, just being. Let's begin with one of the tiger's most impressive tools. Tigers have retractable claws that can grow to about 10 centimeters long. 10 centimeters. That's nearly 4 inches. Imagine claws that long, sharp, curved, and completely retractable. When a tiger walks, those claws are sheathed, hidden away in protective pockets, keeping them razor sharp. But when needed, for hunting, for climbing, for defense, muscles and tendons pull them out, extending them fully, transforming soft paws into formidable weapons. This retraction is a gift of evolution, keeping the claws sharp, preventing them from clicking against the ground, allowing the tiger to move in absolute silence. Now let's look at those paws more closely. Their front feet have 5 toes, including a dew claw, while their back feet have 4 toes. Count them in your mind, 5 in front, 4 in back. The dew claw on the front paws, positioned higher up on the leg, doesn't touch the ground during normal walking, but it serves a purpose, providing extra grip when grappling with prey. An additional point of contact, an extra claw for holding on. The asymmetry between front and back, 5 and 4, is something tigers share with most cats, a design that has worked for millions of years. You're doing so well, your mind absorbing these details like a sponge absorbs water. Effortlessly, naturally, feel how relaxed your body has become, how your breathing has slowed, how peaceful you feel. This is your time, your space, and you're exactly where you should be. Inside the tiger's body, there's a fascinating adaptation. Tigers have a reduced collarbone, which helps them move with a wider stride. Unlike humans, whose collarbones are solid and substantial, connecting shoulder to breastbone, tigers have only a small remnant of a collarbone, a floating fragment, not attached at both ends. This reduction might seem like a loss, but it's actually an advantage. Without a rigid collarbone connecting the shoulders, a tiger's legs can swing more freely, reach further forward with each step, creating a longer stride, covering more ground, moving with that characteristic flowing grace that seems almost liquid, almost effortless. And there's more to their locomotive design. Their hind legs are longer than their front legs, which helps them leap forward powerfully. Picture a tiger at rest, and you might notice their back end sits slightly higher than their front. Those longer hind legs, packed with muscle, act like coiled springs. When a tiger needs to leap, to pounce, to accelerate suddenly, those powerful hind legs extend, pushing against the earth, launching hundreds of pounds of predator through the air, toward prey, across obstacles, with explosive force. Let your thoughts drift like clouds, slow, peaceful. You're learning such fascinating things, and you don't need to hold on to any of it tightly. Just let it flow through your awareness. Gentle as a stream, you're so relaxed now, so calm, sinking deeper with each breath. That leaping ability is truly remarkable. Tigers can leap up to 33 feet in a single jump. 33 feet. That's longer than most rooms are wide. That's the length of several cars. Picture it. A tiger gathering themselves, muscles tensing, and then exploding forward, sailing through the air, crossing 33 feet in a single bound. This ability helps them close the final distance to prey, helps them cross streams and obstacles, helps them navigate their complex habitats. All that power, all that grace, concentrated in one magnificent leap. But tigers aren't just about straight-line power. Tigers have flexible spines that enable them to make sharp turns at high speeds during chases. That spine, that backbone running from head to tail, isn't rigid like a board. It flexes, it curves, it compresses and extends. When a tiger runs, their spine arches and stretches, adding length to their stride, adding speed to their sprint. And when prey tries to dodge, to juke left or right, that flexible spine allows the tiger to twist, to turn sharply, to adjust their trajectory mid-chase, keeping them in pursuit, maintaining contact, adapting instantly to the prey's desperate maneuvers. Feel the bed beneath you or the chair supporting you completely. You need to hold nothing, control nothing, simply be here, listening, drifting. Your eyelids are so heavy, and if they close, that's perfect. That's natural. You're safe. You're peaceful. You're learning about the beautiful world around us. Now, about that speed we mentioned. Tigers can sprint at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, but only in short bursts of 50 yards. 40 miles per hour. Imagine watching from a safe distance as a tiger explodes from cover, muscles rippling, paws pounding, accelerating to 40 miles per hour. But this incredible speed comes with a cost. Tigers aren't marathon runners. They're sprinters, ambush predators. After 50 yards, maybe 150 feet, their energy depletes rapidly. Their large bodies overheat, their muscles burn through oxygen, and they must slow down. This is why stalking is so important, why stealth matters, why they must get close before the final rush. The hunt is decided in seconds, in those brief moments of explosive speed. Those paws that produce such speed have another quality. Tigers' large paws help them move quietly while stalking prey. Large paws, sometimes as wide as 8 inches across, spread the tiger's weight over a greater area. Like snowshoes for humans, They prevent the tiger from sinking into soft ground, from snapping twigs, from making noise. And those paw pads, thick and soft, cushion each step, absorbing sound, allowing a 400-pound predator to move in near silence through dry leaves, through underbrush, through the forest, getting closer, closer, invisible and inaudible, until it's too late. You're absorbing all of this so beautifully, your mind open and receptive, your body heavy and still. Notice how little effort it takes to listen, to be here, to drift in this peaceful space. You're doing wonderfully, just perfectly. Those paw pads have interesting characteristics. Tigers' paw pads are soft and sensitive to heat. Touch them, if you could, and you'd find them yielding, almost spongy. Not hard and calloused, but soft. This softness helps with silence, helps with grip, but those pads are also sensitive. They can feel heat radiating from the ground, can sense temperature differences, giving the tiger information about their environment. On hot days, tigers might feel the burning earth through their sensitive pads, seeking cooler ground, softer surfaces, shaded paths. And here's a fact that might surprise you. Tigers sweat through their paws, which helps cool them during hot weather. Unlike humans, who sweat across our entire bodies, tigers have sweat glands only in their paws. When they're hot, when they've been active, when the tropical sun beats down, moisture seeps from those paw pads, evaporating, providing some cooling. It's not their primary cooling method. Panting helps more, and they often seek water or shade, but those sweating paws contribute. Every bit of cooling helps when you're wearing a thick fur coat in the jungle heat. Let yourself go deeper now, deeper into relaxation, deeper into peace. Your body knows how to rest, how to release tension, how to prepare for sleep, and you're allowing that natural process to unfold, trusting it, surrendering to it. You're safe, you're calm, you're exactly where you need to be. Those claws we discussed earlier, they require maintenance. Tigers sharpen their claws by scraping them on trees. You might have seen domestic cats doing this, scratching at posts or furniture, and tigers do the same, but on a much grander scale. They rear up against a tree, extend their claws, and scrape downward, raking the bark. This removes the old, worn outer sheath of the claw, revealing the sharp, fresh claw beneath. It also serves another purpose, leaving visual marks and scent marks from glands in their paws, announcing to other tigers, "This is my territory. I am here. I am powerful." The shape of those claws is perfectly designed. Their claws are curved, which helps them grip prey and climb trees headfirst. That curve, like a hook, like a climbing tool, allows claws to sink in and hold. When grappling with prey, curved claws dig deeper, provide better purchase, make it harder for prey to escape. And when climbing, those curves hook into bark, finding purchase, supporting the tiger's weight as they ascend a tree, pulling themselves up, branch by branch, their massive body moving upward with surprising agility. You're doing so well, breathing so peacefully, learning these wonderful details about nature's design. There's no pressure to remember anything, no test tomorrow, just the pleasure of knowing, of understanding, of drifting in this sea of knowledge. Let your mind be soft, receptive, at ease. Yes, tigers can indeed climb. Tigers can climb trees, and some have done so to escape floods. When waters rise, when their territory floods during monsoon seasons or storms, tigers take to the trees. They're not as nimble as leopards, not as naturally arboreal, but necessity drives them upward. They climb to escape rising water, to rest on branches above the flood, to wait out the danger. Sometimes they climb to escape more aggressive tigers, or to rest in the cool shade above the hot ground, or even to hide a kill from other predators. They're capable climbers, even if it's not their preferred domain. However, there's a limitation to their climbing abilities. Tigers are the least capable climbers among the big cats when climbing down, so they often have to back down or jump. Going up, with head pointing toward the sky, claws gripping bark, muscles pulling. This works well. But coming down head first, gravity working against them, their body design makes this difficult. Watch a tiger in a tree who needs to descend, and you'll likely see them turn around, backing down slowly, rear first, using their claws as brakes, feeling their way down. Or they might simply jump from 10, 15, even 20 feet up, landing with a heavy thump, absorbing the impact with powerful legs, and walking away unfazed. Feel the heaviness in your limbs, like they're made of warm, soft clay. Your breathing is so slow and regular now. Your mind is quiet, peaceful, drifting like a leaf on a gentle stream. You're exactly where you need to be, learning, resting, letting go. But there's one environment where tigers truly excel. Tigers are excellent swimmers and have large, webbed paws that help them in water. Unlike most cats, who avoid water, tigers love it. They swim to cool off in hot weather. They swim to cross rivers and lakes. They hunt in water, catching fish, even pursuing deer into rivers. Their large paws, with webbing between the toes, act like paddles, pushing against the water, propelling them forward. They can swim for several kilometers, even between islands in some parts of their range. Water is not an obstacle for tigers. It's an opportunity, a refuge, a hunting ground. Now let's appreciate the sheer power of their build. A tiger's forelimbs are massive and built for grappling with prey. Those front legs, thick with muscle, built like a wrestler's arms, can deliver devastating blows. Tigers use their forelimbs to strike prey, to knock them off balance, and then to grapple, to hold on, to bring down animals as large as water buffalo. The muscles in the shoulders and front legs, combined with those retractable claws, create a gripping force that few animals can escape. Once a tiger has its forelimbs around prey, the outcome is rarely in doubt. You're absorbing this knowledge so effortlessly, like soil absorbs rain, naturally, without trying. Your mind is calm and open, your body completely relaxed. Perhaps you're drifting between sleep and waking, and that's perfect. That's exactly right. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Supporting those massive muscles, the skeleton must be equally robust. Tigers have strong, dense front leg bones that help them handle large prey. The radius and ulna, the humerus, these bones are thick, dense, built to withstand tremendous force. When a tiger brings down a 500-pound somber deer, when they grapple and hold, when their full weight presses against struggling prey, those bones must not break, must not bend. Evolution has made them dense, packed with minerals, reinforced, engineered for strength. The tiger's front legs are pillars of power, supporting, controlling, subduing. And then there are the teeth, the primary killing tools. Tigers' canine teeth can measure up to 3 inches long, ideal for gripping and killing large prey. 3 inches, nearly the length of your index finger. Imagine teeth that long. These canines, the long fangs that protrude from the jaw, are designed to pierce, to grip, to deliver the killing bite. Tigers typically kill large prey by biting the throat, the canines sinking deep, finding the jugular vein or crushing the windpipe, or by biting the nape of the neck, canines seeking the gap between vertebrae, severing the spinal cord. Those 3-inch teeth, sharp, strong, curved slightly backward, are precision instruments of death. Let your jaw relax completely. Let your tongue rest softly in your mouth. Let your shoulders drop even further. You're so peaceful now, so still, learning about nature's designs, about millions of years of evolution, all while drifting deeper, deeper, into that beautiful space before sleep. But canines aren't their only teeth. They possess 30 teeth in total, including sharp premolars for shearing meat. 30 teeth, each with a purpose. For long canines for gripping and killing, incisors between them for scraping meat from bone, and behind the canines, premolars and molars, some sharp for shearing, for slicing through tough hide and muscle, for cutting meat into swallowable pieces. Tigers don't chew like we do. They don't grind their food. They bite off chunks, using those sharp premolars like scissors, like shears, and swallow the pieces whole or barely chewed. It's an efficient system, refined over countless generations. and powering those impressive teeth. The skull itself is a masterpiece of design. A tiger's skull is domed, housing powerful jaw muscles for a bite force exceeding 1,000 psi, 1,000 pounds per square inch. Imagine that pressure, that crushing force. The skull rises in a dome, providing attachment points for massive temporalis muscles, muscles that run from the skull down to the jaw. When those muscles contract, the jaw closes with incredible force, over 1,000 psi at the canines. This is enough to puncture thick hide, to crack bones, to crush vertebrae. The domed skull, the powerful muscles, the reinforced jawbones, all working together, creating one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom. Breathe deeply, slowly, feeling your whole body heavy and relaxed. You've learned so much about claws and teeth, about climbing and swimming, about strength and power, all delivered to you gently, peacefully, as you drift, as you rest, as you prepare for deep restorative sleep. We've explored the tiger's physical tools, those retractable claws growing up to 10 centimeters long, 5 toes on the front feet. For on the back, we've learned about their reduced collarbone allowing wider strides, their longer hind legs powering leaps of up to 33 feet, their flexible spines enabling sharp turns, and their sprinting speed of 40 miles per hour in short bursts. We've discovered how their large paws enable silent movement, how their paw pads are soft and heat-sensitive, how tigers sweat through their paws to stay cool. We've seen how they sharpen their curved claws on trees, how they can climb up but must back down or jump, and how they excel as swimmers with their large, webbed paws. We've marveled at their massive forelimbs built for grappling, their strong, dense front leg bones, their 3-inch canine teeth, their 30 teeth total, and their domed skull housing muscles that produce a bite force exceeding 1,000 psi. Every detail, a testament to evolution, to adaptation, to survival, to the magnificent design of these apex predators. Rest now, breathing slowly, imagining tigers moving through water, climbing trees, leaping through the air, silent, powerful, perfectly designed. Sleep well, drift peacefully. Let these images carry you into dreams. Your breathing slow and steady, your body heavy and relaxed, focusing now on their senses, their perception, the ways they experience the darkness, the sounds, the sense of their domain. Just listen, just drift. There's nothing to do but rest. Let's begin with when tigers are most active. Tigers are nocturnal and usually hunt at night. As the sun sets, as shadows lengthen and darkness spreads across the forest, tigers wake from their daytime rest. The night is their domain, their hunting time, when they move through the darkness with confidence and purpose. While their prey may be nervous, uncertain in the dark, tigers are at ease. the cool night air, the concealing darkness, the quiet that settles over the land. All of this favors the tiger. They rise, stretch their powerful bodies, and begin to hunt, padding silently through a world painted in shades of silver and black. You're doing beautifully, your mind absorbing these rhythms, the cycles of day and night, of activity and rest, just like the tiger rests during the bright afternoon. You too are resting now, letting your body recover, letting your mind settle, sinking deeper into peace, deeper into comfort. One reason tigers hunt in low light is their superior vision. A tiger's night vision is about 6 times better than a human's. 6 times better. Imagine that enhancement, that gift of sight in darkness. What appears to us as impenetrable black, as shadows without detail, a tiger sees clearly, not in color. Their night vision renders the world in grayscale, but with clarity, with definition. They can see the movement of deer, the outline of prey, the obstacles in their path, all in conditions where we would be nearly blind. This advantage, this ability to see in near darkness, is crucial to their survival, to their success as hunters. And if you've ever seen a photograph of a tiger at night, you know their eyes do something remarkable. Tigers' eyes glow in the dark due to a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum behind their retinas. The tapetum lucidum, a mirror-like layer of cells, sits behind the retina. When light enters the eye, it passes through the retina once, and if it's not absorbed, it bounces off the tapetum lucidum, passing through the retina a second time. This gives the photoreceptors a second chance to capture that light, amplifying the tiger's vision in low-light conditions. And when a flashlight or camera flash hits those eyes, the light reflects back, creating that eerie glow, green or gold, the eye shine that reveals a predator watching from the darkness. Let your eyes rest, closed or nearly closed. You don't need to see right now. You only need to listen, to feel the comfort of where you lie. Your breathing is so calm, so regular, like waves on a distant shore. You're learning, drifting, releasing all tension, all worry. You're safe here, peaceful here. There's another interesting aspect of tiger eyes. They have round pupils unlike the slit pupils of smaller cats, aiding depth perception for hunting. Look into the eyes of a house cat, and you'll see those distinctive vertical slits, narrowing in bright light, widening in darkness. But look into a tiger's eyes, and the pupils are round, like ours, like those of most large cats. Those round pupils, combined with forward-facing eyes, provide excellent binocular vision, excellent depth perception. When a tiger crouches, preparing to pounce, they need to judge distance precisely. 10 feet, 15 feet, 20, that round pupil, that binocular vision, that brain calculating angles and distances. all combine to make the tiger an accurate hunter, able to gauge the perfect moment to leap. But vision isn't their only nighttime navigation tool. Their whiskers are extremely sensitive and help them navigate in complete darkness. Those whiskers, protruding from the face, from above the eyes, from the cheeks, from the muzzle, are far more than decoration. Each whisker, technically called a vibrissa, is embedded deep in tissue rich with nerve endings. As a tiger moves through dense brush, through darkness, through tight spaces, those whiskers touch branches, grass, obstacles, sending instant signals to the brain. The whiskers are roughly as wide as the tiger's body. So if the whiskers fit through a gap, the body will likely fit too. Their tactile sensors, feeling air currents, detecting nearby objects, allowing navigation where even the tiger's excellent eyes cannot see. Let's appreciate these whiskers more deeply. Their vibrissae are richly innervated, acting as radar for close-range navigation. Innervated, meaning filled with nerves, connected to the nervous system, exquisitely sensitive. Each whisker follicle, the pocket in the skin where the whisker grows, is surrounded by nerve endings and blood vessels. When a whisker bends, even slightly, those nerves fire, sending information to the brain. Scientists have compared whiskers to radar, to sonar, mapping the space immediately around the tiger's head. When hunting, when the tiger is close to prey, when it's too dark or too close to rely on vision, those whiskers provide crucial information, detecting movement, sensing position, guiding the final strike. Feel how deeply relaxed you are now, how your muscles have softened, how your breath flows so easily. In and out, in and out. You're absorbing these fascinating details about how tigers sense their world. While your own sense is quiet, preparing for sleep, preparing for dreams, you're doing so well. Just listening, just being. Tigers don't rely only on sight and touch. A tiger's sense of smell is acute enough to detect prey or scents from miles away. That black nose, wet and cool, contains millions of scent receptors, far more than humans possess. Tigers live in a world of scent, of odor trails invisible to us. They can smell a deer that passed hours ago, can detect the scent of another tiger's territory marking from a great distance, can smell water, can smell prey, can smell danger. The wind carries information, scent molecules floating on the breeze, and the tiger's nose decodes these messages. Reading the landscape through smell, understanding what has been here, what is here now, what is nearby and downwind. But there's even more to their scent abilities. They have a Jacobson's organ in the roof of their mouth for enhanced scent analysis. Also called the vomeronasal organ, the Jacobson's organ is a specialized scent detector. You might have seen a tiger or a domestic cat make a strange face, mouth slightly open, lips curled back, looking almost like a grimace or a sneer. This is called the flamen response. The tiger is drawing air over the Jacobson's organ, located in the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth. This organ specializes in detecting pheromones, chemical signals from other tigers, helping them determine if another tiger is an estrus, if a stranger has entered their territory. Gathering social and reproductive information from the invisible world of scent. Your mind is so quiet now, so peaceful, like a still forest pool reflecting the moon. These facts about tigers flow through your awareness. Interesting, calming. You need not hold on to them, need not remember. Just experience them and let them go, drifting deeper towards sleep. Breathing softly, exploring the ways tigers communicate, the sounds they make, the signals they send. Now we turn to one of the tiger's most famous abilities. Tigers use their roar to communicate over long distances, and the sound includes very low frequencies below human hearing. The roar of a tiger, deep, powerful, reverberating through the chest, is one of nature's most impressive sounds. But what we hear, as dramatic as it is only part of the message. Tigers roar in infrasound, frequencies below 20 Hz, below the threshold of human hearing. We feel these low frequencies more than hear them. A rumble in our chest, a vibration in our bones, an unsettling presence. These low-frequency sounds travel farther than higher frequencies, penetrating through dense forest, carrying the tiger's message over great distances, announcing territory, seeking mates, warning rivals. But roaring isn't something tigers do constantly. Tigers roar mainly to communicate over long distances, not constantly during everyday activity. Unlike the popular image, tigers don't roar continuously, don't announce themselves at every moment. Most of the time, tigers are silent, moving quietly through their territory. They roar for specific purposes. A male advertising his presence, warning other males away from his territory. A female in estrus calling for a mate, or tigers communicating with each other across the miles of forest that separate them. The roar is a special communication, saved for when distance demands it, when a message must travel far, when silence must be broken for purpose. Let your body sink even heavier into your bed, into the surface beneath you. Imagine the weight of your body pulling gently downward, supported completely, safe, comfortable. Your breathing is so slow, so peaceful. You're exactly where you need to be, learning, resting, preparing for deep sleep. That roar can travel remarkable distances. A tiger's roar can be heard up to 3 kilometers away on a calm night. 3 kilometers, nearly 2 miles. Imagine standing in the forest, in the darkness, and hearing that roar echo through the trees from 2 miles away. On a still night, when there's no wind to scatter the sound, when the forest is quiet, that roar carries, rolling across the landscape, causing deer to freeze in fear, causing other tigers to take notice, a sound both beautiful and terrible, announcing, "I am here, I am powerful, this is my domain." To hear it, even from miles away, is to understand why humans have feared and revered tigers for millennia. But roaring isn't their only form of vocal communication. They communicate through a variety of vocalizations, including growls, chuffs, and hisses beyond just roaring. The tiger's vocal repertoire is surprisingly diverse. They growl, a low warning sound when annoyed or threatened. They hiss, a sharp sound of fear or aggression, often accompanied by bared teeth. They chuff, a gentle sound made by exhaling sharply through the nose, a friendly greeting between tigers who know each other, a mother communicating with cubs, a sound of peace rather than threat. They moan, they grunt, they make a variety of sounds that range from the thunderous roar to quiet, intimate calls. Each sound has meaning, has context, is part of the complex language of tigers. You're doing so well, absorbing these sounds in your imagination. The roar, the chuff, the variety of tiger voices. Your own voice is silent now, at rest. Everything is at rest. Your jaw loose, your throat relaxed, your whole being settling into the profound peace that precedes sleep. Here's a surprising fact about a familiar sound. They can purr like smaller cats, but only when exhaling, unlike domestic cats that purr on both inhale and exhale. Yes, tigers purr. Not with the same continuous motor-like quality as a house cat, but they do purr, expressing contentment. The difference lies in anatomy. Small cats have a completely ossified or bony hyoid apparatus in the throat, allowing them to purr continuously on both the in-breath and the out-breath. Big cats like tigers have a partially flexible hyoid, which allows them to roar, but limits their purring to exhalation only. So a tiger purrs in bursts: exhale purr, inhale silence, exhale purr. A pulsing sound of contentment, heard when they're relaxed, when they're fed and safe, when they're with trusted companions. And there's one more fascinating visual signal to explore. Tigers have white spots on the back of their ears that can act like false eyes. Turn a tiger around, look at it from behind, and you'll see these distinctive white spots, bright against the black back of the ear, outlined in black, looking almost like eyes. Why? Scientists believe these spots serve multiple purposes. They might help tiger cubs follow their mother through dense vegetation. Bright spots visible even in dim light. They might signal other tigers about mood or attention, the ear positions changing, the spots moving. And some researchers suggest they act as false eyes, confusing predators or prey about which direction the tiger is looking, creating uncertainty. making it harder to predict the tiger's next move. Feel the darkness behind your own closed eyelids. Peaceful darkness, restful darkness. You've learned so much about how tigers see, how they hear, how they smell and communicate, and now your own senses are quieting, turning inward, preparing for the restoration of sleep. You're so relaxed, so calm, so ready to let go. Let's appreciate this feature once more. Tigers' white ear spots can act as false eyes and confuse other animals about which way the tiger is facing. Imagine being prey or being another predator and seeing those white spots. Is the tiger looking at you or looking away? The false eyes create ambiguity, confusion. A tiger might be facing away, apparently unaware, but those spots draw the eye, suggest watchfulness, suggest the tiger might be more aware than it appears. It's a clever evolutionary adaptation, spots of white and black, creating the impression of eyes, adding to the tiger's mystique, to its effectiveness as both predator and as a creature avoiding larger threats when young. Nature has equipped the tiger with such remarkable tools for sensing and communicating, from night vision 6 times better than ours, to whiskers that feel the air, to noses that read scent like we read words, to roars that shake the earth and travel for miles, to gentle chuffs and purrs, to white spots that might be eyes or might not be. Every sense refined, every signal purposeful, millions of years of evolution creating this magnificent predator, this solitary hunter, this symbol of wild places. Breathe deeply, slowly, feeling your whole body heavy, your mind drifting like mist. You've journeyed through the tiger's senses, experienced their world of enhanced perception, and now you can rest, knowing you've learned something beautiful, something fascinating about the natural world. Sleep is calling you, and you can answer, letting go, drifting down, into peace, into dreams. We've learned that tigers are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk, when their night vision, 6 times better than ours, gives them tremendous advantage. We've discovered the tapetum lucidum, the reflective layer that makes their eyes glow in the darkness, and seen how their round pupils aid in depth perception. We've explored their remarkable whiskers, their vibrancy, richly innervated and sensitive, acting as radar in complete darkness. We've understood their acute sense of smell, detecting scents from miles away, and their Jacobson's organ, analyzing pheromones and chemical signals. We've heard their roar, carrying up to 3 kilometers on a calm night, containing infrasound below human hearing, used for long-distance communication. We've learned of their varied vocalizations, growls, chuffs, and hisses, and their purring, on exhale only, expressing contentment. And we've noticed those white spots on the back of their ears, acting as false eyes, creating confusion, helping cubs follow mother, adding another layer to the tiger's remarkable design. Every sense enhanced, every signal meaningful, every adaptation a testament to millions of years of evolution. Rest now, imagining tigers in the twilight, seeing through the darkness, feeling the air with their whiskers, roaring across the miles, mysterious, powerful, perfectly equipped for their world. Let sleep come, gentle and natural, like darkness falling over a forest. Drift away, peaceful, calm, safe. Sleep well. Your body heavy and relaxed, your mind quiet and calm, exploring now how they hunt, how they survive, the ancient dance between predator and prey. Just breathe, just listen. Let these facts wash over you like gentle waves. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to remember, just the pleasure of learning, of drifting, of rest. Let's begin with the tiger's hunting style. They usually hunt alone and rely mostly on sight and sound. The tiger is a solitary hunter. No pack to help, no pride to support them. They move through their territory alone, relying on their own senses, their own strength, their own skill. Their eyes scan the shadows, looking for movement, for the shape of prey. Their ears swivel, catching the snap of a twig, the rustle of leaves, the nervous call of a deer. Sight and sound, these are the tiger's primary hunting senses. Smell helps them locate prey generally, but when the hunt begins, it's what they see and hear that guides them, that tells them when to freeze, when to creep closer, when to spring. And their hunting method is one of patience and stealth. Tigers are ambush hunters that usually stalk prey quietly instead of chasing it for long distances. Unlike wolves, who may chase prey for miles, or cheetahs who rely on pure speed, tigers are ambush predators. They don't want a long chase, don't want to expend energy over distance. Instead, they creep, they stalk, they use every shadow, every tree, every fold in the ground to conceal themselves. Slowly, patiently, they close the distance, moving when prey looks away, freezing when it looks up, closer, closer, until they're within 1 or 2 leaps, until the distance is close enough, and then, explosive action, the ambush sprung, the hunt decided in seconds. You're doing so beautifully, lying there so peacefully, breathing so softly. Your mind is absorbing these images of patience, of stillness, of waiting for the perfect moment, and you too are being patient with yourself, patient as sleep approaches, not forcing, just allowing, just being. You're exactly where you should be, calm, heavy, drifting. When the moment comes to strike, positioning is crucial. Tigers attack prey from behind or from the side to knock it off balance. Rarely does a tiger attack from the front. where prey can see them coming, where horns or hooves might strike them. Instead, they circle if needed, they wait for the prey to turn, and they attack from behind or the side, launching their weight, their momentum, into the prey's flank or hindquarters. The impact alone can knock prey off balance, can send them stumbling, can create the opening the tiger needs to grapple, to close in, to make the kill. Once contact is made, the tiger's power comes into play. They often grip prey with their forelimbs and twist during the struggle to bring it down. Those massive forelimbs we discussed earlier, claws extended, dig into the prey's body, holding on. The tiger's weight, their strength, pulls at the prey, and crucially, they twist, using leverage, using their powerful core muscles, pulling the prey off balance, bringing them down to the ground where the tiger has the advantage. It's a wrestling match, violent and brief, hundreds of pounds of predator overwhelming the struggling prey, bringing them down, controlling them, ending their escape. Feel how heavy your own body is now, how relaxed your muscles are, how you've surrendered to gravity, to the comfort beneath you. There's no struggle in you, only peace, only the gentle drift towards sleep. Your breathing is so calm, so regular, like a soft tide, in and out, in and out. You're safe, you're learning, you're resting so well. The killing bite follows a specific pattern. Tigers usually kill by biting the throat until the prey dies of strangulation. With prey on the ground, the tiger moves to make the killing bite. Most often, they clamp their jaws around the throat. Those long canines we discussed, 3 inches long, sinking into the neck, crushing the windpipe, cutting off air. The prey struggles, but the tiger holds on, jaw locked, maintaining pressure. Can take several minutes, the prey gradually weakening, consciousness fading, until finally, stillness. It's not a quick death, but it's effective. Sometimes, with smaller prey or in different positions, tigers bite the back of the neck, seeking the spinal cord, but the throat bite, the strangulation, is their most common method. The power of that bite has been measured scientifically. Their bite force at the canine tips has been measured at about 1,234.3 newtons. Numbers, precise measurements, 1,234.3 newtons of force. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 277 pounds of force at the tips of those canine teeth. That pressure, concentrated on those sharp points, can pierce thick hide, can penetrate deep into tissue, can crush bone. It's the combination of sharp teeth and tremendous pressure, a biological vice, a tool refined by evolution to kill efficiently, to end the struggle, to secure the meal that will sustain the tiger for days. And after the kill, the tiger must deal with their prize. Tigers can drag very large prey, including animals weighing around 700 kilograms. 700 kilograms. That's over 1,500 pounds. Imagine dragging something that heavy. Yet tigers do it, gripping the carcass in their jaws. Neck muscles straining, powerful shoulders pulling, hind legs pushing. They drag dead weight through grass, over obstacles, toward cover. They might drag prey 100 meters or more, seeking a safe place to feed, away from scavengers, away from disturbance. The strength required is immense, but tigers possess it, hauling prey that weighs more than they do, demonstrating raw power that few animals can match. Continuing our gentle journey, breathing softly, learning about how tigers feed, how they rest, the rhythms of their survival. Tigers are practical about their kills. Tigers can hide the remains of their prey so they can come back and eat later. After making a kill, after feeding, there's often meat remaining. Tigers will cover the carcass with leaves, with grass, with dirt and debris, hiding it from vultures circling above, from other scavengers who might steal it. This behavior, called caching, allows the tiger to return over the next few days, to feed again, to extract maximum value from the dangerous work of hunting. They'll rest nearby, guarding their kill, returning to feed until the meat is consumed or begins to spoil. And tigers prefer efficiency when feeding. They prefer to eat their kill at the same spot multiple times rather than dragging it far. Why expend energy dragging a heavy carcass long distances? If the kill site is reasonably safe, reasonably secluded, the tiger will feed there, rest, feed again, rest again. Multiple meals over several days, at the same location. Only if disturbed, or if the location is too exposed, will they drag the kill to a new spot. Energy conservation matters. Every calorie spent dragging prey is a calorie not available for other survival needs. So tigers are strategic, practical, feeding where the prey fell whenever possible. Your mind is so quiet now, so peaceful, absorbing these details about tiger behavior, about efficiency and survival, and you too are conserving your energy, lying still, breathing slowly, preparing your body for the restoration that sleep brings. You're exactly where you need to be, exactly as you should be, calm, heavy, drifting. Hunting is demanding work, and tigers don't do it constantly. Tigers usually hunt about once a week. Once a week, imagine that rhythm, a successful hunt every 7 days or so. If the tiger is lucky, if they're skilled, if circumstances align. Many hunts fail, prey escapes, so tigers must hunt more often than they succeed. But a successful hunt, bringing down a large deer or boar, provides enough food for many days. This is why patience matters, why the stalk must be perfect, why they can't afford to waste energy on long chases. One successful hunt per week, One kill to sustain them, to keep them alive until the next opportunity, the next successful ambush. When they do succeed, tigers eat impressively. A tiger can eat more than 80 pounds of meat at one time. 80 pounds. Imagine that quantity. That's like eating hundreds of steaks in a single sitting. A hungry tiger, one who hasn't eaten in several days, approaches their kill with intense focus. They tear into the flesh, consuming muscle, organs, fat, 80 pounds or more, filling their stomach, gorging while they can, knowing that food is never guaranteed, that they might not eat again for days. This feast or famine existence, it's the reality of being a top predator. So when food is available, they maximize it. Feel how relaxed your jaw is, your throat, your whole body at ease. You need nothing right now. You're completely satisfied, completely at peace. Your breathing flows so easily, so naturally, like a gentle river, carrying you deeper, deeper into tranquility, into the soft darkness before sleep. You're doing so well. Just listening, just being. The amount they can consume in a night is remarkable. A tiger can consume as much as 75 pounds of food in one night. 75 pounds. In darkness, feeding steadily, tearing flesh, consuming their kill. They feed for a while, rest, feed again, their digestive system working to process the massive intake. Through the night, as dawn approaches, they eat, filling themselves, storing energy for the lean days ahead. 75 pounds of meat, a tremendous meal, possible only because of their hunting success, because of their skill and strength and patience. Their stomach is designed for this feast pattern. Their stomach can hold up to 1/10 of their body weight in a single meal. 1/10. If a tiger weighs 500 pounds, that's 50 pounds of food capacity in their stomach. Some tigers are larger, weighing 600 pounds or more, and can hold 60 pounds or more in their stomach. This elastic organ, this storage system, expands to accommodate the feast, allowing them to consume enormous quantities when food is available. Then, over the following days, that food is slowly digested, providing energy, sustaining them, until they must hunt again. Let yourself sink even deeper now, heavy, relaxed, every part of you at rest, your stomach soft and relaxed. You're breathing deep and slow. You're drifting in that beautiful space, that peaceful darkness, where thoughts are quiet, where worry doesn't exist, only calm, only peace, only the gentle approach of sleep. Tigers even have specialized anatomy for drinking. Tigers have a specialized valve in their throat that allows them to drink without stopping or lifting their head. Most animals must raise their heads to swallow when drinking, using gravity to help water flow down. But tigers, like other big cats, have a muscular valve in their throat, a one-way valve that allows them to create suction, to drink continuously without lifting their head from the water. They can drink for a long time, tongue lapping, water flowing, head down, efficient and uninterrupted. This adaptation, this specialized valve, allows them to rehydrate quickly, to drink their fill without the vulnerability of repeatedly raising and lowering their head. And after a big meal, rest is essential. They rest up to 20 hours a day after a big meal to conserve energy. 20 hours. Imagine sleeping or resting for 20 hours out of 24. After gorging on 75 or 80 pounds of meat, the tiger's body needs to digest, to process, to convert that meat into energy and sustenance. Digestion requires blood flow, requires energy, and activity would divert resources away from this crucial process. So the tiger rests, finds a shaded spot, near water perhaps, and lies down. They doze. They sleep deeply. They rest in that half-awake state cats are so good at. 20 hours of rest, conserving every bit of energy, allowing their body to extract maximum nutrition from their meal, preparing for when hunger returns and the cycle begins again. And you too are resting now, deeply, peacefully. Your body knows how to restore itself, how to heal, how to process the experiences of your day. All you need to do is rest, is surrender to sleep, is drift away into that restorative darkness. You're so relaxed now, so calm, so ready to let go completely. We've discovered that tigers hunt alone, relying on sight and sound, that they are ambush hunters, stalking quietly rather than chasing long distances. We've seen how they attack from behind or the side, using their powerful forelimbs to grip and twist, bringing prey down to the ground. We've learned about the killing bite, the throat bite that strangles prey, delivered with a measured force of over 1,234 newtons. We've marveled at their strength, dragging prey weighing 700 kilograms, hiding remains to return and feed later, preferring to eat at the kill site multiple times. We've understood their feeding rhythm, hunting successfully about once a week, consuming more than 80 pounds of meat at one time, up to 75 pounds in a single night, their stomach holding 1/10 of their body weight. We've learned about their specialized throat valve for drinking and their need for rest, up to 20 hours a day after a big meal, conserving energy, digesting, preparing for the next hunt. Every adaptation, every behavior, refined by evolution, designed for survival, for efficiency, for the challenging life of a solitary apex predator. Rest now, imagining tigers sleeping in the shade, their bellies full, their bodies at peace, conserving energy, existing in that timeless rhythm of hunt, feast, rest, hunt again. Let yourself mirror that rest, that deep conservation of energy, that surrender to sleep. Drift away now, peaceful, calm, safe. Sleep deeply, sleep well. Drifting in that peaceful space, your breathing slow and steady, your body heavy and relaxed. Learning now about how tigers communicate through scent, how they mark their world, how they find each other in vast territories, and how new life begins. Just breathe, just listen. There's nothing to hold, nothing to strain for, only the calm flow of information, washing over you like a gentle stream. Let's begin with how tigers claim their space. Tigers use scent marking by spraying urine, clawing trees, and rubbing their cheeks to signal that an area is occupied. A tiger's territory is vast, many square miles of forest, grassland, difficult terrain. How does a solitary animal announce, "This is mine," across such distances? Through scent. They spray urine backward onto trees, rocks, prominent landmarks, the scent containing chemical messages about identity, sex, reproductive status. They rear up and claw trees, leaving visual marks, yes, but also scent from glands between their toes. They rub their cheeks, their faces, against objects, depositing scent from facial glands. All of these marks together create a scent landscape, an olfactory map announcing to other tigers, "This territory is occupied. I am here. Respect my boundaries." And tigers can be quite particular about their marking posts. Some tigers prefer certain tree species when they mark their territory. Not just any tree will do for some individuals. They might favor a particular species, perhaps because the bark holds scent well, perhaps because those trees are located at important junctions in their territory, at trail crossings, at boundaries. Researchers have observed tigers returning to the same trees repeatedly, year after year, creating deeply scored trunks, layers of scent accumulated over time. These favored trees become signposts, bulletin boards of the forest, where tigers leave and receive messages, maintaining the social structure even while living mostly solitary lives. You're doing so beautifully, your mind absorbing these details about communication, about boundaries, about respect for space, and you too have created your own peaceful space tonight, a boundary of rest, where nothing disturbs you, nothing intrudes. You're safe in your own territory, your own comfortable place, breathing softly, drifting deeper, deeper into tranquility. The height of territory markings tells us something interesting. Adult tigers mark their territory with scrapes up to 1 meter high on tree trunks. 1 meter, over 3 feet high. Imagine a tiger rearing up on hind legs, stretching upward, claws extended, raking down the bark, leaving deep furrows. The height of these marks might communicate size, power, dominance. A larger tiger can reach higher, and other tigers reading these signs might think twice about challenging the territory holder. These scrapes, combined with the scent marks, create multi-sensory signals, visual and olfactory, announcing presence, announcing strength, maintaining the invisible boundaries that keep tigers separated, that reduce conflict, that allow each tiger their space to hunt and survive. But scent marking isn't always about keeping others away. Tigers practice allomarking, rubbing glands on objects to mix scents with other tigers. Allomarking, the mixing of scents, suggests cooperation, relationship, social bonding. When tigers who know each other, perhaps a mating pair or a mother and nearly adult cubs, rub the same objects, their scents mingle, creating a shared signature. This might reinforce social bonds, might help tigers recognize allies, might facilitate the brief social interactions that do occur despite their generally solitary nature. Even solitary animals need some connection, some communication, and scent provides that invisible thread, linking tigers across time and space. Feel how deeply relaxed you are now, how your muscles have released all tension, how your breathing flows like a gentle tide. You're learning about connection, about communication, even in solitude, and you too are connected to the world around you, to the beauty of nature. Even as you rest here, peaceful, calm, drifting towards sleep. Now let's explore the various uses of that mighty roar we discussed earlier. A tiger may roar to announce a large kill. When a tiger brings down a particularly large prey animal, more than they can consume alone, they might roar. This announcement could serve multiple purposes. In areas where tigers' ranges overlap slightly, a female might roar to call a male, essentially sharing the bounty, strengthening social bonds that could lead to mating. Or the roar might be territorial, announcing success, demonstrating hunting prowess, reinforcing status. The exact meaning likely varies by context, by individual, but the association between large kills and roaring has been observed. Another example of how tigers use their powerful voice. A mother's roar serves a different purpose. A mother tiger can roar to call her cubs back to her. Cubs explore, as young ones do, wandering from mother's side, investigating their world. But if they wander too far, if danger threatens, or if it's time to move to a new location, mother roars. Her specific vocal signature, familiar to her cubs, cuts through the forest, a powerful summons. The cubs, hearing that call, that unmistakable voice of safety and authority, return. They run back through the undergrowth, seeking mother, responding to that primal call. The roar that means protection, food, security. You're absorbing all of this so peacefully, learning about the bonds between mother and young, about protection, about safety, and you too are safe, completely safe, as you lie here. Nothing threatens you, nothing concerns you, only peace, only the gentle darkness, only the soft approach of sleep. You're doing so well. Just listening, just being. The roar also plays a role in reproduction. Tigers also roar during mating to attract a mate. When a female enters estrus, becomes receptive to mating, she roars, advertising her status across the miles. Males, hearing that distinctive call, that invitation, travel toward the sound. They roar in response, announcing their approach, their interest. During the brief time they're together, mating pairs vocalize frequently, roaring, communicating, coordinating. The forest echoes with their calls, a rare moment of tiger sociability, driven by the ancient imperative to reproduce, to create the next generation. Most of the time, though, tigers prefer solitude. Tigers are most often solitary, except when mothers are raising cubs or during the mating season. The typical tiger life is one of aloneness, not loneliness, but solitary existence. They patrol their territory alone, hunt alone, rest alone, self-sufficient and independent. Only two situations bring tigers together regularly. First, mothers raising cubs, a relationship lasting 2 years or more, teaching, protecting, nurturing. Second, mating, a brief partnership, lasting days or perhaps a couple of weeks, intense and focused, before the male departs and the female raises the cubs alone. Otherwise, tigers avoid each other, maintaining distance, each in their own space, solitary monarchs of their domains. Let your mind be quiet, like a still pool, reflecting nothing, just existing in peace. You've learned about solitude, about independence, and there's beauty in that, in rest, in sleep. We too are solitary, alone with our dreams, our restoration, and that's perfectly natural, perfectly good. Breathe slowly, deeply, feeling yourself drift, drift, drift. The reproductive cycle follows a specific pattern. Females enter estrus every 3 to 9 weeks, with gestation lasting about 103 days. Every 3 to 9 weeks, if not pregnant, a female becomes receptive to mating, a window lasting just a few days. If she mates successfully, if fertilization occurs, pregnancy begins. For 103 days, about 3.5 months, the cubs develop within her. She continues hunting through most of the pregnancy, maintaining her territory, though she becomes more cautious as birth approaches. At 103 days, give or take, she seeks a den, a cave, a dense thicket, a protected place, and there, alone, she gives birth. Tigers possess certain anatomical features that aid reproduction. Tigers have a baculum, a penis bone, that aids in reproduction, typical of most mammals. The baculum, also called the os penis, is a bone within the penis, found in many mammalian species. In tigers, this bone helps maintain rigidity during mating, which can be prolonged, lasting minutes or even longer. The presence of the baculum is simply a biological fact, part of their anatomy, shared with many carnivores, an evolutionary feature that facilitates successful reproduction. Your body is so relaxed now, every part of you at ease, heavy, peaceful. You're learning about biology, about nature's designs, about how life continues, and these facts wash over you like gentle waves. Interesting but not stimulating, calming, helping you drift deeper into that peaceful state before sleep. Male tigers have another reproductive adaptation. Males have barbed penises, which stimulate ovulation during mating. Small spines or barbs on the penis, made of keratin, the same material as claws, create stimulation during mating. This stimulation is believed to trigger ovulation in the female, meaning she releases eggs in response to mating itself, rather than on a fixed cycle. This is called induced ovulation, a strategy that increases the likelihood of successful fertilization, ensuring that eggs are present and ready when mating occurs. It's an efficient system, refined by evolution, maximizing reproductive success. And the result of successful mating, new life. Tigers usually have 2 to 4 cubs every 2 years. 2 to 4 small cubs, blind and helpless at birth, weighing only 2 to 3 pounds each, born every 2 years on average, because raising cubs takes time, takes energy, takes dedication. A mother must nurse them, protect them, teach them to hunt for nearly 2 years before they're independent. Only then can she mate again, beginning the cycle anew. 2 to 4 cubs. Not all will survive. Predation, starvation, disease take their toll, but those who do will carry tiger genes forward, will grow into the next generation of solitary hunters, continuing the species, continuing the ancient lineage. Feel yourself sinking deeper, deeper, like settling into soft earth, into warm water. You're breathing so slow, so peaceful. You've learned about the cycle of life, about reproduction, about how tigers ensure their survival through generations, and now you can rest, can let all these facts settle gently in your mind. Nothing to grasp, nothing to remember, just the peaceful knowledge that you've learned something beautiful, something real. We've learned how tigers mark territory, through spraying urine, clawing trees, rubbing their cheeks, sometimes preferring certain tree species, marking as high as 1 meter up. We've discovered allomarking, the mixing of scents between familiar tigers, creating shared signatures. We've explored the many purposes of roaring, announcing large kills, mothers calling cubs, tigers seeking mates during breeding season. We've understood their solitary nature, living alone except when raising cubs or mating. We've learned about the reproductive cycle, females entering estrus every 3 to 9 weeks, gestation lasting 103 days. We've noted the baculum and barbed penis, anatomical features that aid reproduction, and we've seen the result: 2 to 4 cubs born every 2 years. The next generation, the continuation of the species, every behavior, every biological feature serves survival, serves reproduction, serves the continuation of these magnificent animals through time. Rest now, imagining tiger cubs, small and vulnerable, growing stronger, learning from their mother, eventually walking alone into their own territories. The cycle continuing, life flowing forward. Let yourself flow now into sleep, into dreams, into that deep restoration your body needs. Drift away, peaceful, calm, safe. Sleep deeply, sleep well. Your body sinking deeper into rest, your mind quiet and receptive. Let's explore now the beginning of a tiger's life, those precious early days, the bond between mother and cubs, the learning, the growing, the journey from helpless infant to powerful predator. Breathe slowly. Let these images comfort you. There's nothing to grasp, only the peaceful flow of knowledge, washing over you like moonlight. Let's begin at the very beginning. Tiger cubs are born blind and rely on their mother's scent. Only about half survive to adulthood. Picture these tiny beings, 2 to 3 pounds each, eyes sealed shut, ears folded, completely helpless. They cannot see, cannot walk properly, cannot regulate their own body temperature. In those critical first days and weeks, scent is everything. They find their mother's belly by scent, locate her nipples by scent, navigate their small world through smell and touch alone. And the harsh reality, despite mother's fierce protection, only about half will survive. Disease, predators, starvation during lean times, abandonment if mother is killed. These dangers claim many cubs before they reach adulthood. Those who do survive, who make it to independence, are the fortunate ones, the strong ones, carrying forward the genetic legacy. Now, remember those white ear spots we discussed earlier? Those ear spots can also help cubs follow their mother. When cubs' eyes finally open, around 10 days to 2 weeks old, the world is blurry, indistinct. But those bright white spots on the back of mother's ears, high contrast against the dark forest, against the green vegetation, stand out like beacons. As mother walks ahead, threading through dense undergrowth, cubs follow those bobbing white spots. They're easy to track, easy to see even in dim light or thick vegetation. A simple visual signal: follow me, I am here, stay close. You're doing so wonderfully, lying there so peacefully, learning about these tender relationships between mother and young. Feel how safe you are, how protected. Just as those cubs are protected by their mother's strength, you're safe in your rest, safe in this peaceful space. Breathing slowly, drifting deeper, your body heavy, your mind quiet. You're exactly where you need to be. Those ear spots serve yet another purpose. Mother tigers use those ear spots as signals for their cubs when danger is near. The position of mother's ears communicates volumes. When her ears are upright, the white spots visible, cubs know all is well. They can explore, play, relax. But when danger approaches, when mother senses a threat, her ear position changes, and so do the visible signals to her cubs. These spots aren't just markers to follow, they're communication devices, part of the silent language between mother and cubs, helping keep the vulnerable young safe. Here's how that communication works in dangerous moments. When a mother tiger flattens her ears, her cubs may respond by lowering themselves to stay hidden. Danger, a male tiger perhaps, or wild dogs, or human hunters. Something threatens. Mother's ears flatten against her head. The white spots disappear from view, and this absence, this change, triggers an instinctive response in the cubs. They crouch, they flatten themselves into the grass, into the undergrowth, becoming small, still, invisible. Mother might be preparing to fight, or she might be hoping the danger passes without detection. Either way, her flattened ears have communicated hide. Now, stay silent. And the cubs, reading this signal, obey. Their survival depending on this learned response to mother's body language. Feel your own body. So still, so relaxed, like a cub resting in the safety of the den. Your breathing barely a whisper. Your muscles soft and loose. You're learning about protection, about safety, about trust, and you can trust in your own rest, in your body's wisdom, in the natural drift towards sleep that's carrying you deeper, deeper into peace. As cubs grow, they begin to prepare for their future. Cubs and juveniles often play by stalking, rushing, ambushing, pouncing, wrestling, and mock biting each other. Watch young tiger cubs at play, and you're watching hunters in training. One cub crouches in the grass, wiggling its hindquarters, preparing, and then rushes at a sibling, pouncing, bowling them over. They tumble together, wrestling, rolling, mock biting at each other's throats and necks, the same targets they'll need to strike as adult hunters. Another cub hides behind a log, then ambushes a sibling walking past. They stalk each other, creeping low, practicing the patient approach they'll need when hunting real prey. Every game, every playful interaction, is practice, is training, is preparation for the solitary hunting life ahead. Play is serious business, teaching coordination, timing, technique, strength. And this practice begins remarkably early. Tiger cubs start practicing hunting skills through play as early as 8 weeks old. 8 weeks, just 2 months old, still nursing, still dependent, but already the hunting instinct emerges. They pounce on mother's twitching tail. They stalk insects. They chase leaves blown by the wind. By 8 weeks, play fighting with siblings intensifies, becoming more sophisticated, more purposeful. Mother watches, sometimes participates, batting gently at cubs, teaching them through interaction. Month by month, the play becomes more refined, more effective, building the neural pathways, the muscle memory, the instincts they'll rely on when hunting becomes real, when their survival depends on the skills first learned through play. You're absorbing all of this so beautifully, images of young tigers learning, growing, preparing for life. Your own mind is preparing too, preparing for sleep, for dreams, for the restoration that comes with deep rest. Notice how heavy your eyelids are, how your thoughts are becoming slower, softer, like gentle clouds, drifting, dissolving. You're so peaceful now, so calm. We've touched on this before, but it bears gentle repeating. Tigers are most often solitary, except when mothers are raising cubs or during the mating season. The mother-cub bond we're exploring. This is one of the rare exceptions to the tiger's solitary nature. For nearly 2 years, mother and cubs live together, a family unit, social, interactive. But eventually, between 18 months and 2 years of age, that bond must break. Cubs reach independence. Mother begins to push them away, encouraging them to establish their own territories. And they disperse, becoming the solitary adults they were always meant to be. The cycle continues. Solitary adults, brief mating encounters, mothers raising the next generation, then solitary life again. The rhythm that has sustained tigers for millennia. And one final fact about tiger size. Female tigers are usually about 20% smaller and lighter than males. 20%, a significant difference. If a male weighs 500 pounds, a female of the same subspecies might weigh 400 pounds. If a male measures 10 feet from nose to tail base, a female might measure 8 feet. This size difference, called sexual dimorphism, is common in many species. Males grow larger, using size to compete with other males for territory and mating rights. Females remain smaller, more agile, requiring less food to sustain themselves, an advantage when raising cubs and hunting alone. Both sizes work. Both are perfectly adapted, male strength and female efficiency, each suited to their role in the continuation of the species. Let yourself sink completely now, all the way down into deep relaxation. Your body knows what to do, how to rest, how to restore. You've learned about growth, about development, about the journey from helpless cub to powerful adult. And now your own journey continues. The journey into sleep, into dreams, into that restorative darkness where healing happens, where the mind processes, where peace reigns. We've discovered that cubs are born blind, relying entirely on their mother's scent, with only half surviving the dangerous journey to adulthood. We've seen how those white ear spots help cubs follow their mother through dense vegetation, and how mother uses these spots, particularly by flattening her ears, to signal danger and command cubs to hide. We've watched cubs at play, stalking, rushing, ambushing, pouncing, wrestling, and mock biting, all practice for the hunting life ahead. We've learned this play begins as early as 8 weeks old, instinct and learning intertwining, preparing them for survival. We've remembered that the mother-cub bond is one of the rare social times in a tiger's mostly solitary life, and we've noted that females are about 20% smaller than males, each size perfectly suited to their role. From helpless blind cubs, to playful juveniles, to independent adults, the tiger's journey is one of growth, learning, and eventual mastery, a cycle that has continued for millions of years, ensuring these magnificent cats endure. Rest now, imagining tiger cubs, safe in their den, curled against their mother's warmth, breathing softly, growing stronger with each passing day, peaceful, protected, drifting in innocent sleep. Let that image comfort you as you too drift, as you too surrender to sleep's embrace. You're safe, you're peaceful, you're ready. Sleep deeply, sleep well, let go completely, drift away into dreams, into rest, into the gentle darkness. Good night. Moving in and out of awareness, and that's perfectly fine, perfectly natural. Let's continue our gentle journey, exploring now the beautiful variations in tiger coloring, the mysteries of genetics, and the span of a tiger's life. Breathe deeply. Let your body sink even heavier. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to remember, just the soft flow of information, like a lullaby carrying you towards sleep. Let's begin with one of the most striking variations. White tigers are usually the result of a recessive genetic trait and are more often seen in captivity than in the wild. White tigers, imagine them, not albino, but leucistic, creamy white fur marked with dark stripes, blue eyes gazing out, hauntingly beautiful. This coloring comes from a recessive gene, meaning both parents must carry the gene for a cub to be born white. In the wild, this is extremely rare, perhaps once in 10,000 births. The last confirmed wild white tiger was shot in India in 1958. Why so rare in the wild? because that white coat, so striking to us, offers poor camouflage. White tigers struggle to hunt successfully, struggle to survive, so the gene remains uncommon. In captivity, however, where survival doesn't depend on hunting, where humans control breeding, white tigers are deliberately bred, their rarity making them attractions, though this practice raises concerns. And those concerns are serious. White tigers can have health problems linked to inbreeding, including vision issues and low fertility. Because the white gene is so rare, producing white tigers often involves breeding related animals, father to daughter, brother to sister, concentrating that recessive gene. But inbreeding concentrates other genes too, including harmful ones. Many white tigers suffer from crossed eyes, strabismus, affecting their depth perception. Some have cleft palates, kidney problems, weakened immune systems. Fertility can be reduced, litter sizes smaller. The beautiful white coat comes at a cost, a genetic burden created by humans seeking novelty. In the wild, natural selection would eliminate most of these problems, but in captivity, the cycle continues, beauty purchased with suffering, a troubling legacy. You're doing so well, lying there so peacefully, learning about genetics, about consequences, about the complexity of life. Your breathing is so slow now, so steady, like a gentle tide on a quiet shore. Feel how heavy you are, how relaxed, how your mind accepts this information without disturbance. You're drifting in perfect peace, perfect safety, exactly as you should be. But white isn't the only color variation in tigers. Pseudomelanistic tigers have unusually dark, wide stripes due to a rare genetic mutation. Pseudomelanistic, false black. These tigers appear almost reversed, their stripes so wide, so dark, that they merge together, creating large patches of black with relatively little orange showing through. The stripes expand, blur into each other, giving these tigers a dramatically dark appearance. This mutation is also rare, documented in only a handful of wild tigers, though it seems to occur more frequently in certain populations. Unlike white tigers, pseudomelanistic individuals may actually have some advantages. In dense forest or shadowy environments, their darker coloration might provide excellent camouflage. Nature experimenting, genetic variation creating new possibilities, new patterns, each individual unique. On the opposite end of the spectrum, another rare variation exists. Golden tigers result from a recessive wideband gene mutation causing a lighter, golden coat. Golden tigers, also called golden tabby tigers, strawberry tigers, their coats a pale gold, almost cream-colored, with stripes that are lighter, softer, more cinnamon than black. Like white tigers, this coloring comes from a recessive gene and is seen almost exclusively in captivity. the result of selective breeding. These tigers have a warm, gentle appearance, less fierce-looking perhaps than their orange cousins, but still unmistakably tigers, still powerful, still beautiful. The wideband gene affects how pigment is distributed in the fur, creating this unusual golden tone. Another example of the genetic diversity hidden in tiger DNA, waiting to express itself when the right combination occurs. Let your whole body relax even more deeply now. Feel the surface beneath you supporting you completely. You need hold nothing, control nothing. These variations in color, in pattern, remind us that nature is endlessly creative, endlessly diverse, and you too are unique, perfectly yourself, exactly as you should be. Breathe slowly, peacefully, drifting deeper, deeper into that beautiful space before sleep. Your eyelids so heavy, your thoughts so quiet. You're exactly where you need to be. Now let's consider the span of a tiger's life. Tigers have an average lifespan of 10 to 15 years in the wild, but can live up to 26 years in captivity. 10 to 15 years in the wild, facing all the challenges nature presents. Disease, injuries from hunting, conflicts with other tigers, the constant work of finding food, the dangers of human encroachment. Some tigers die young, as cubs, as inexperienced juveniles attempting their first solo hunts. Others survive to old age, battle-scarred, experienced, wise in the ways of their territory. 15 years might represent the upper limit for most wild tigers, though some surely exceed it. In captivity, life is different. Regular meals, veterinary care, protection from conflict, no need to hunt. Tigers in zoos, in sanctuaries, can live into their 20s, 26 years documented for some individuals, nearly twice their wild lifespan, growing old in safety, if not in freedom. And we'll close with a gentle reminder of something we learned earlier. Tigers rest up to 20 hours a day after a big meal to conserve energy. 20 hours. Imagine that rhythm, that dedication to rest. After the intense work of hunting, after gorging on their kill, tigers do what comes naturally. They rest. They find a shaded spot, near water perhaps, and they lie down. They sleep. They doze. They exist in that peaceful state between waking and sleeping. Their body digests, processes, converts meat to energy. Their muscles recover from the hunt, from the struggle with prey, and they simply rest for hour after hour, conserving every bit of energy, not moving unless necessary, existing in peaceful stillness. What a gift to rest so completely, so without guilt or hurry, to simply be recovering, preparing for when activity is needed again. And you too are resting now, deeply, completely. Your body knows this wisdom, this need for rest, for recovery, for the restoration that only sleep can bring. Feel yourself sinking down, 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 into that deep rest, that peaceful darkness. Your breathing barely a whisper, your heartbeat slow and steady. You've learned so much about white tigers and golden tigers, about rare mutations and genetic variations, about lifespans and the eternal rhythm of rest. And now you can let it all go, can drift away, can surrender completely to sleep. We've learned about white tigers, beautiful but burdened, the result of a recessive gene, rarely seen in the wild, more common in captivity where selective breeding occurs. We've understood the health problems that can accompany this beauty, vision issues, and low fertility linked to inbreeding, the cost of human manipulation of genetics. We've seen the opposite variation, pseudomelanistic tigers with their unusually dark, wide stripes, and golden tigers with their pale, warm-toned coats. Both rare, both beautiful, both examples of nature's genetic creativity. We've considered the tiger's lifespan, 10 to 15 years on average in the wild, up to 26 years in captivity. Lives shaped by their environment, by safety or struggle, and we've remembered their pattern of rest, up to 20 hours a day after feeding, the wisdom of conservation, of recovery, of allowing the body to restore itself, from white to golden, from orange to nearly black, each tiger unique, each life precious, each span of years a journey through the wild, or through the safety of human care. Rest now, as tigers rest, deeply, completely, without reservation. Your body deserves this restoration, this peace, this surrender to sleep. Imagine yourself in a quiet den, safe, warm, darkness surrounding you like a gentle embrace. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, only rest, only peace, only the slow drift into dreams. Let go now, completely, totally. Sleep calls you, and you can answer. Drift away, peaceful, calm, safe. Sleep deeply, sleep well. Good night, rest well, dream peacefully.